Things I don't like on this 2024 Toyota 4Runner. This will be the third video I've made on this, but no auto headlights is wild. I know how easy it is to turn on lights. I've had cars without auto headlights, but for $46,000 in 2024, unacceptable. I don't care if it's the base trim. Auto headlights are in a Nissan Versa now. Especially if you have the sensor for auto high beams. What's that about? The fact Toyota got away with a 5-speed automatic all the way until 2024 is wild. This transmission should have been phased out like 12 years ago. No one's using 5 speeds anymore, given the fact that this was the only 5-speed auto car for sale until the very end. Like, there's no way they didn't have a 6-speed auto laying around from like the Tundra or an 8-speed unit to hook up to this 4.0 V6. The V6 is fine, I like it. But the 5-speed auto, the spaces in between the gears and the fuel economy, that could have just been remedied like 10 years ago. Manual single-zone air conditioning at $46,000 is unacceptable. Especially if the Corolla LE and Prius have it as standard equipment, and they have for the past like decade. You'd think that the 4Runner, which costs almost twice as much, would have it as standard. Which I have no problem using this. It's air conditioning and heat. It works fine, but if I'm paying 46 grand, 50 grand out the door after taxes, I'd want a temperature setting and an auto button. The fuel economy on this thing sucks. 173 miles since I picked it up. Look at the fuel gauge. This thing averages 18.3 miles per gallon. That is abysmal fuel economy for a vehicle that does like 8 seconds to 60. And the last thing's gotta be the price of this thing. Like, a lot of these issues, other than the automatic, the 5-speed in this thing, can be fixed if this thing was 34 grand new. But 45, 46 for this SR5 as shown with 4-wheel drive, what figure, 47? That's too much money. I'm sorry. It's reliable. It will last a long time, but for a design that's been out for 15 years, with a production line that's been going for 15 years, and they bought all the sheet metal stampings and everything figured out down to the T, you think it would lower production costs after a few years, but no, it's actually raised them, and I just don't get it. I get these things have been in pretty high demand, even until the very end with the TRD Pro stuff, so Toyota didn't really have an incentive to lower the price, but you gotta ask yourself, is one of these things really worth 50 grand?